Hi, welcome back to Hamish Recaps. Today I will recap the erotic movie titled Love. As the movie begins, we can see Murphy getting intimate with Electra. As both are about to finish, we can hear the phone's ringtone. It was just Murphy's dream regarding his past life. As he wakes and checks his phone, is Electra's mother, Nora, calling him. We can see that Murphy is in bed next to his wife, Omi. Their baby is crying, and as Murphy goes to check on him, he thinks how pathetic his life is and wonders if his entire year is going to be this way. He also regrets getting high the previous night. As he picks up his baby boy, Omi also gets up and Murphy takes the baby to his room. During this, he is still wondering how he was stuck in a cage. He suddenly remembers that Nora is calling him and he hands the baby to Omi. She takes the baby and goes to the kitchen. As he listens to the voicemail left by Electra's mom, asking him if he has seen Electra, as she herself has not heard anything from her daughter. Murphy knows that something is seriously wrong. He misses Electra as it has been 2 years since they broke up, and that was the best time of his life. He remembers calling Electra's mom after they broke up and how she scolded him for destroying her daughter's life. She tells him that he is disgusting and a liar before she ends the call. Back in the present day, Murphy listens to the voicemail by Electra's mom again. Then he joins his wife and baby for breakfast. Omi asks him who was on call, but he ignores her. Murphy is not happy in this marriage and regrets everything about it. He remembers when he and Omi conceived their first baby. Later, when Omi told him that she was pregnant, and Murphy was expressionless after hearing this. He just asks her if they can do another pregnancy test to be sure. But the second test is also positive. Back in the present day, Omi again asks Murphy who was on the phone, and he tells her that it was the mother of an old friend. Omi asks him if he is sure, but Murphy still does not reply to her. Murphy hates his life, and he hates that he has to spend his life with Omi. He goes to a room and picks up a book which has opium in it. It was given to him by Electra, who told him to use it when his life is in a mess and she is not around to help him. That was the day when Murphy told Electra that Omi was pregnant with his baby. Hearing this, Electra spits on his face and leaves him. After the breakup, Murphy is at a club with his friend and he sees that Electra is dancing with someone. He calls out her name and asks her if she is dancing with someone to get back to him. She tells him that she hates him, that he is a liar, and that she wants him to leave him alone. He even calls her after that, but she shouts at him and cuts the call. Murphy tries to get her back, and he even goes to her apartment only to find out that she has been doing drugs with Julio. He calls and tries to threaten the guy, who tells him that it was all Murphy's fault. Back in the present, Gasper is crying and Omi picks him, and they leave the apartment. Murphy tells Omi the truth about Nora's call. Murphy still loves Electra very much and misses her badly. He remembers spending time with her and smoking joints with her afterward. She told him that the best intimacy was under the influence of opium. In the present day, Murphy is using opium to remember Electra and feel close to her, as it reminds him of her. He also remembers when he asks Electra what her fantasy is, as she told him that she wanted to be intimate with Murphy and another girl. The next day, Electra and Murphy meet their new neighbor, Omi. Later, they invite Omi out for dinner. They have a great time at the restaurant, and after going to a club, they go back to Murphy's place. They smoke a joint and engage in intimate activity. During the threesome, Murphy uses a condom with Omi, as she is just 17 years old and he does not want her to get pregnant. The next scene again brings us back to the present day as Murphy is standing thinking about the past. He calls Nora, but she's out of Paris for a few days. He leaves her a message telling her that he is not in touch with Electra and he is as worried about Electra as she is. After the call, Murphy again starts to degrade himself and thinks about how big of a loss he was. How he is great at messing things up as he messed up his relationship with Electra. He thinks about the past when Omi was hot and it was hard for him to ignore her after the threesome. He remembers that when Electra was not with him one weekend, he went over to Omi's place and became intimate with her. He remembers how he planned to have a baby with Electra and name him Gaspar. Murphy was stoned at the moment and he wished that Electra was with him at that moment. Murphy then takes a look at Electra's pictures as he misses her. He calls an international arts gallery, leaving a message there asking about Electra and how he was looking for her as she was missing for 2 months. After that, Murphy lies on the bed thinking about how Electra used to wake him up in the morning and get intimate. He also remembers them walking in the park and talking about what they wanted to do in life. Murphy tells Electra about his favorite movie and she tells him about her favorite poem. When they get to a cave with a waterfall, they stop and start to make out. In the next scene, we can see that Murphy and Electra are at a coffee shop and Murphy asks her what if he gets her pregnant and she replies that she will love it. Electra tells him that she wants to have more than one baby and Murphy agrees to have 7 kids with her. Electra tells Murphy that she is not sure that she will be able to introduce him to her father. She tells him that her father was a religious person and that her father thought that she was an angel. Murphy makes fun of her for having a daddy complex. They then go back to the apartment and spend time together, after which Murphy asks her about her ex and she tells her that her ex wanted a younger woman than her. Murphy is then seen spending time with another woman. He tells her that she was the love of his life and asks her if he could come and stay with her at her apartment in Paris. Murphy is again seen in bed with Electra, both are having fun. Electra takes Murphy to her ex-boyfriend's art gallery and there she introduces them. Her ex introduces her to someone and when Electra comes back, Murphy is angry with him. Later, they go back to their apartment and Murphy starts taking intimate pictures of Electra and even makes an intimate tape with her. They both have a lot of fun together, and Murphy films and takes pictures of most of it. In the present day, Murphy calls Giulio and asks him about Electra, as he has not seen her for a while as well. Electra takes Murphy to see her mother, and Nora asks Murphy if he knew about the cocaine in Electra's apartment. Murphy refuses, but later Murphy and Electra are seen doing drugs at Electra's apartment when she reveals that she has been taking drugs from Giulio. Murphy and Electra go to a party where a woman asks Murphy if he wants to do cocaine with her, and he agrees. They go to a washroom, and the woman takes out a condom instead of cocaine. Electra knocks on the door as they are kissing inside, but they do not open the door. As they come out of the washroom, Electra tells Murphy that she knew what they were doing in the washroom, and she tells him that she had intercourse with her ex-boyfriend. They have a huge fight on their way back home, which results in them making up and spending a wild night. At her ex's art gallery party, Murphy gets drunk, which results in him having a fight with him. As Murphy is in jail, Electra has intimacy with her ex again to get Murphy out of jail. On the way back home, Electra breaks up with Murphy. Later, Murphy is spending time with another woman, and he cannot perform his acts properly. He tells the woman that he is really sad due to her breakup, and she tells him that it is a part of life and he should not worry too much about it. Murphy calls Electra and convinces her to meet him. They both hug, and after that, they spend time together. They visit an adult store and mess around, after which they have intimacy in a gallery. Afterward, Murphy meets with a police officer who tries to make him understand that he is now in France and must let go of his American side, as things work differently around here. Later, Murphy takes Electra to a swingers club, and they sleep with multiple other people. After that, they plan to sleep with a transgender, which Murphy regrets afterward. They both go on a walk and realize that they are both wasting time and decide to take a break from each other and drugs. The next scene takes us to the first time they met, and they were visibly full of joy. After taking Electra back to his place, they got intimate for the first time. There they promise to protect each other from anyone who will ever stand between them. As the next scene takes us back to the present day, we can see that Murphy is calling someone and praying to God that let Electra be alive. He then goes to the washroom and says to himself that he wants to go back to when he was with Electra. Then we can see Murphy sitting in the shower alone crying as Omi comes in. As she leaves, Gasper comes to the washroom and sees his father crying. Later, Murphy and Gasper hug each other, and they both start to cry in the shower. Murphy remembers Electra telling him that if she dies, she wants him to fall in love again and again and again. In the last scene, we can see that Murphy and Electra are sitting in the shower together naked, hugging each other. This tells us that Murphy will never be able to get over Electra, no matter if she is alive or dead. Thank you for watching the whole video. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this.